I don't know. It's always happening to me. It always seems to happen this way. I get, oh, I'm so sorry. I was complaining a little bit because I have an issue here this morning. This is the mug that I keep straws in for when I use my straws for a drink. Guess what? This is the last straw. It just always seems I'm running out of things. Just never works. I'm always on the short end of the stick. You've heard that before, right? But this is the last straw. I'm down to the last straw, and I'm not sure what to do. Oh, hey, you've heard the saying, "This is the last straw," right? Or the final straw, or the straw that breaks the camel's back, or things like that, right? Well, if you say something like, "This is the last straw," what are you meaning? Well, you mean it's the last of a series of bad events. It's just the one that's taken you over the edge. It's just so hard to deal with the situation anymore. You've lost patience. Everything has gone wrong, and now this is just the last straw. So this is literally the last straw, but it could also mean that I'm just tired of having the last straw. Or like if you're a parent, you might understand this. You go, okay, that's the last straw, kids. I told you to stop shouting back there, and now I'm turning the car around. Yeah, maybe some of you know about that. So the last straw is the shortening of the proverb, it's the straw that broke the camel's back, which gives us an image of an animal that is weight is being added to. Now, this isn't a camel. I'm not sure what it is, but we could pretend it's a camel. Let's pretend it's a camel. No humps on this camel, but we add one weight to it and it's doing okay. We add another weight to it and it's starting to bend a little bit. And then we add the third weight and oh, the camel collapses. Bloop. Just too much weight. And that last bit of weight caused the camel to collapse. So that's how people referred to it. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. Didn't really break the camel's back, but the camel just couldn't carry anymore. You know, that expression actually started in the 1800s, and it replaced an earlier proverb that said the last feather that breaks the horse's back. Now, we know that feathers are light, and so when you put a feather on a strong horse, it's okay. Shouldn't make a difference. But you add feather after feather after feather after feather, and pretty soon the horse will feel the weight, and it might become too much. The straw that broke the camel's back. You know, when things keep adding on to our lives, they get heavier, and then things happen. For instance, we could talk about Nancy. When Nancy showed up late to work a third time, that was a straw that broke the camel's back, and they had to let her go. Things happen again and again and again, and finally there's going to be a breaking point. So, we have this last straw thing, or the straw that broke the camel's back. When in your life does it feel like too much is happening? When do you run out of patience with someone or with something? When is enough enough? And how do we handle the times that just seem to be overwhelming and keep piling on and piling on and piling on? And finally, we get to the point where it feels like it's the last straw or it's the straw that broke the camel's back. Well, I don't have an answer for all of those questions, but I do know that we in life are at times asked to be patient with our circumstances and with each other. And sometimes we may need to take a deep breath and step away from the situation that is causing us this grief, this anxiety, this stress, this feeling of being overwhelmed. We may need to take a break, and we may need to practice patience. You know, there's some verses about patience in the Bible. James 5, verse 7 says, "Brothers and sisters, be patient until the Lord comes. See how the farmer waits for the land to produce its rich crop. See how patient the farmer is for the fall and spring rains." Romans 12:12 says, "When you hope, be joyful, and when you suffer, be patient, and when you pray, be faithful." So there's hope, suffering, and prayer all together in that verse. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not become tired of doing good. At the right time, we will gather a crop if we don't give up." You know, there's that reference to the farmer again. The farmer faces many obstacles throughout a year. There can be storms, there can be droughts. All of these things affect their crop. There can be hail. There can be animals that come in and eat the crop. This year has been a really hard one for farmers in the Midwest with windstorms and floods. And some of them don't have a lot of crop to harvest, but they continue to work to plant and harvest year after year after year. They don't give up because they continue on, because they're largely people of faith who say, okay, well, next year will be different. Let's try it again. We want to be people who hang in there, not someone who's always complaining about, oh, this is the last straw. I don't know what I'm going to do like I was doing earlier. That wasn't right. You know what? I'll go out and find some more straws. It's not really the last straw in the world. And this isn't the straw that broke the camel's back, because I think I can handle it. So I want to be a person who hangs in there. I want to be a person who is patient. Proverbs 15, verse 18 says, a person with a bad temper, or somebody who's always complaining, sort of, stirs up conflict. That's pretty true, right? A person with a bad temper stirs up conflict, but a person who is patient calms things down. I hope that you can be the person who, when you're dealing with obstacles and struggles in your life, and they just keep adding on, that you can find a way to be patient, and that you can find a way to be strong, and that you can help be somebody who calms things down. Well, I hope you have a calm day. I hope you have a day that's filled with joy, and as always, a day that is filled with peace.